beauties, and welcome back to the channel. I am Cher, and I have been testing out Gua Sha. I wanted to share my results with you guys. There's something to talk about. So we're going to share it. I want to bring you along on my Gua Sha journey. I want to talk to you about what is Gua Sha and is it actually effective as they say it is. I'm going to show you my results after 21 days of consistent use. So basically I've done Gua Sha every single day for 21 days, and I have a little before and after to share with you. So if that interests you, stick around and we're going to dive right on into it. So welcome back to the channel. I do lots of reviews in beauty. I do a lot of different beauty boxes and whatnot. And recently, I won't say real recent, but in the last few months or so, we got this Gua Sha stone from Elizabeth Arden in the Macy's beauty box as one of the bonuses. And I've done a lot of different face rollers, facial contouring. I do all kinds of different skincare tools and all, but I haven't really consistently done Gua Sha before. And so I really wanted to be consistent and document my results so that I could kind of give you guys a for sure yay or nay. Is it all pseudoscience, or is it really actually effective as far as our skincare goes and as far as so many other benefits? So I decided to buckle down and officially do a little study for you. So I have been using it consistently. Really want to share my results, but let's talk first, if you're not familiar with Gua Sha, what it is exactly. It kind of goes back to to Chinese medicine. So the idea with Gua Sha is, which goes back, way back in time, the Gua Sha, the Sha in there, I think it stands for like redness, but it's basically to encourage the skin to heal itself. And so it is a practice of kind of scraping a tool across the body, whether it's on the face or other places on the body, to effectively encourage like drainage, so lymphatic drainage, but so many benefits of it too. It's kind of a massage, a facial contouring, it stimulates collagen, a lot of things. So we'll go through what those benefits are and like why you might want to consider it. So what can it do for you as far as our skin goes, as far as beauty is concerned? I am a beauty channel after all. Since it does focus a lot on the lymphatic drainage, what it's kind of essentially doing is really encouraging blood circulation and the flow of oxygen and reducing waste, basically getting rid of the wastes and the toxins, moving them on along through our body to get rid of them. A lot of times we'll have a lot of swelling in our body, or, waste and extra fluid maybe that's building up in our tissues and all those things. And so this really helps kind of ease that on along. So it can really help reduce puffiness. It can really improve skin texture too. So even things like fine lines and wrinkles when you're going back over them, especially with the oil, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But then that blood flow and circulation also really helps stimulate the production of collagen too. And collagen, of course, is one of those very important things. As we're getting older, we're losing, and stimulating our collagen again and again really helps with the appearance of the elasticity in our skin and more suppleness, plumpness. So there's a lot of things we're fighting as we're aging. And this is something that just kind of helps the overall complexion and radiance in general. So definitely some anti-aging components to it, but also other things you might encounter too, the puffiness and swelling and things like that. So the reason I am the most interested is, of course, I'm 47 and I'm always looking for how to look younger. And one of the things I was noticing a lot in my videos in general over time is this neckline and like just the jawline. And, as we're aging, things start to sag a little bit here, and you can get some of that, like, I don't want to call it gooseneck, but like gooseneck, So not necessarily like a double chin, but just sagginess, not as tight and not as like contoured and, tight, firm, young looking neck and like jaw and chin area. That is what I really wanted to target the most with this stone. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, show you my results with it. But there's other benefits too that are not as skincare or beauty related, but just with our overall health. It can also really help pain reduction, because what this is also doing is kind of helping break down scar tissue, improving just the movement through our body and the circulation. So it can really help sometimes even with like stiff muscles and joints too. And also, of course, promotes relaxation. So this is definitely what I consider my meditation time. And if you guys have been around on my channel for a little while, you'll know how important my meditation and my self-care time is to me. So I've really enjoyed this. It's like a little personal massage I give myself. It helps also with reducing inflammation in general too. So a lot of perks. Now, another thing, I have started using this on, but I haven't gotten far enough. I'm going to hesitate in showing results on that because I don't know if it's a true causation test, but that is my stomach area. So I really wanted to target my belly fat. We'll talk about this though in a moment about how this isn't for fat reduction necessarily, okay? But I have a lot of problems with the stomach area. I have extreme digestive problems, or I have I've had a lot of health problems in recent years, and especially it got really bad the last couple years. I've always had IBS, but I've had some really weird things going on. I don't know if it's perimenopause or what. I ended up having to actually have a surgery last summer. A lot of secondary problems. I won't get into all of it, but basically it all comes back to my gut and my digestion. And so there are some studies out there that claim that this can really help improve digestion too, because it helps encourage that circulation and removing toxins, the drainage concepts, helping things flow on through. So I've started trying to also target my stomach area. Both I wanted to improve the appearance, but also for the digestion. Now, the problem is I don't want to document that and really tell you guys, yes, it worked, because at the same time, I've also started going sugar-free, and I feel like any of my results I've had could be either one of these or a combination. So I'm probably mostly going to focus today on the skincare side and on, my face, as opposed to what I'm trying to do down here. And I also have tried to use it for cellulite as well. But those are two that are just kind of a gray area. All right, so we've kind of touched on the benefits. Let's talk about how to use it. And I'm gonna go ahead and start demonstrating for you guys. I'm gonna do my gua sha today, and you can kind of get a feel for how you go about doing it as a routine. So first, let's talk about the type of stone you may want. There's different types out there. You could get like the jade or pink quartz. There's amethyst, and some of those have their own properties. If you're into like gems and whatnot, you can read up on the different benefits of those. Or you could do the stainless steel like this. And the benefit of a steel is that they're more durable. They hold up better than the other stones, because the other stones can chip. And of course, you never want it to chip on you and cut you or something. They're better for travel, portability, all of that. I did take this on my vacation to be consistent, kept doing it on my vacation. So it just depends on what you want. And I forgot to say this before, so I'm putting this clip in too to add. Another benefit of a steel is that it's easier to clean. You can sanitize it. It's better all around for that, I think. So I think I kind of prefer the steel. And another way you can tell the quality of your tool is just how heavy it is. Sometimes when it's more flimsy, it's probably a little cheaper, might not be as quality of a tool. Of course, they're all different shapes too. And I know sometimes the shapes might even be confusing. We'll talk about what we're doing with this shape in a minute. So that's the first thing, is the type of stone you go with. The second thing is you want to use it with an oil. So you don't really want to put it on by itself. You need an agent. And sometimes, okay, with the whole idea of oils and whatnot, you know, I have read a lot of articles and seen a lot of studies out there on the effectiveness of other kinds of skincare tools like microcurrent, you know, I don't know. You know, there's all different kinds of, you know, face massage, all these things. And a lot of them can be very effective, have their benefits too. But then some say it was really just the oil the whole time. And that tool really just was helping you absorb the oil better and the skincare itself better. And it was really the skincare that was being effective on the face. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think it really is like the two working together, because that tool is helping you penetrate it more. So your oil is also really important. You do want a very moisturizing, I wouldn't do just moisturizer, I'd do an oil, like a facial oil. So what kind of facial oil do you want? Honestly, that is going to depend completely on your skin type. You don't want to be choosing an oil that's going to break you out. You have oily skin or acne prone and all. You want to choose some kind of oil that's better for acne, you know, that kind of thing. If you have dry skin like mine, you probably want a better, more anti-aging, more moisturizing one. A lot of people use like carrier oils, you know, grapeseed oil, coconut oil. But again, with those carrier oils, always think about what is that particular oil treating in the skin. You know, if you have more acne prone oily skin, you might want to go more with jojoba oil. Okay, if you have skin like mine that's very dry, people use coconut oil, or even like a rose hip oil is really good for like the anti-aging mature skin. If you have really sensitive skin, you're worried about breaking out, like you might want to pick like a lavender oil, kind of soothing. So you really kind of want to pick your oil based on your skin type is what you're looking at, as opposed to like what goes best with a gua sha. Now, what I have been using has been the Pink Diamond from Rhode Isle. It's the Pink Diamond Lifting Oil. It lifts and illuminates. And this is from Rhode Isle Beauty. And I chose it because I was like, well, it lifts, it's a lifting oil. And that is the point of what I'm trying to do with my gua sha on my face, is to lift. I'm trying to tighten, plump, lift. So I went with a hydrating, really good brand that I know I love, lifting oil. So that's what I've been using. So I am going to go ahead and apply it. Now mine has a little syringe here. Sometimes it's just easier for me to put it in my hands. And by the way, I do tend to do this after the rest of my skincare routine, unless I was using some kind of mask or something, as like the last step in my skincare. And I usually do it at night before bed. And then that way it's like I've kind of, my face is still sitting and absorbing in that oil through the night. Because this is pretty oily too, and you might not want to do this during the day, you know, walk around with this greasy face, right? But it's great because overnight that oil is absorbing into my skin, and your gua sha is going to absorb a lot of this. So where I start is first with the neck. The more days and the more consistent you can be, the better results you're going to have. They kind of say like at least 2 to 3 times a week. I've been doing it every single day, and daily is totally fine. So after this experiment, I might go down to like 2 to 3 times a week, because I don't like to do this with all the oil and another like skincare mask of some kind and just like over sop my face in the same day. So I'll probably have other days I do other skincare, and then my gua sha, you know, a few times a week too still, but I'm still going to be building this into my routine ongoing, because you'll see the results and you'll know why. Okay, so what we want to do is we're lifting. So we're going to do all upward motions, okay? No downward motions. So lifting, think lifting. Now when I do the stomach, I do opposite. I usually kind of go down with everything, because I'm kind of trying to get everything to drain. So I don't want it to go up and get stuck. I want it to drain on out. But with what I'm doing here is I'm trying to firm. So up and lift, right? So you can use the flat side in a lot of cases here. I use it in different ways. And you want to do like 3 to 5 strokes in the same spot. Okay, which I already did, I think. And gradually kind of go all the way around. And you can kind of, you don't want to go like too fast, but you don't have to go like ultra slow, and you don't have to press really hard. You can be pretty gentle. All right, so I kind of just, I'm lifting up, you know, on my neck. And of course, there's also the tech neck, which that's one of the results I haven't seen huge progress in, but I'll show you where there's progress. Now, the rounded part. What do we use that for? This is great for some of these grooves. I actually use it right here along that like Adam's apple, you know, up here into the chin, and then I twist and I take it all the way up this chin line. So I'm really like contouring the jawline. And then I've seen some people who do this. They'll go up the middle, up the side, and then back down like that. So that's kind of what I've been doing a lot of, and I'll do 3 to 5 strokes like that. And then the same on this side. So you can really see I'm like contouring right here along my jawline and really tackling that, I don't want to call it a double chin, but that goose neck, that goose saggy skin right there. And you can even use this like flat side, just come in here, do that even more. Really target that area and use all different angles. But you know, it's shaped in so many different ways to get tackle all those little spots. And then we come to the rest of the face. So I'd come in here like on the chin, and you can do it either way. And then I'd come over here and I would tackle right along in here. Now I have been kind of using this little groove here to almost make myself a little contour, because I use contour in my makeup right along here. So I've kind of been contouring me out a spot in my cheeks lately, but a lot of folks will kind of do the flat side and just take it up, and the same idea. And it just feels so good. Same idea, but outward and upward. And then you can also come right in here. I haven't spent a lot of time in here, but I should. And you can just like lift from the mouth area right there, getting those little spots. And then same, you can take this all the way up. Now I tend to just kind of do this along the sides here. And up here too, I do the flat side because I'm really targeting those forehead wrinkles, but I have not seen a lot budge in the forehead. But this is another area like pain relief wise. If you suffer from migraines, you just want the massage, give yourself a little temple massage right here. And that helps with like the drainage and tension and, you know, pain relief, inflammation. All right, so that's kind of just my routine when it comes to my face. So I've been doing that every night for 21 days. So let's look at the results now. So I want to show you my before and after picture. Now, I did take this, you know, at the beginning, like on day 1. I want to show you the face that's on the left, like in the first picture. So now I don't know if you can see these side by side. We have a before and then we have it after the 21 days next to each other. And I do want to say pictures are hard sometimes. I do prefer video because, you know, pictures can be doctored up, y'all. I did not doctor these up. I changed the lighting just a little bit in one so that, you know, it matched the other, so it doesn't have such different lighting, but that's all I did to the picture. But in general, we can't always trust pictures these days because they are so easily touched up. Honestly, video is easily touched up these days too with AI. But anyway, I think as far as though when I go to try to compare my pictures, it can be hard because if I didn't have the exact same angle, the exact same lighting, you know, dimensions and resolution in the picture, it can be hard just from going from pictures. But I have noticed in my videos, you know, as they're on my screen and I look over my videos and when I'm editing and everything, I have generally seen over the last few weeks an improved radiance in my skin. Like I do just feel like I'm looking younger than I did 21 days ago. I can see the freshness, I can see the suppleness overall, and I'm like, wow, I can tell, guys. I can see it. So I do feel like I've been getting some great results from this. And then in this picture, can you pick that up? I see the subtle, like you know, my face is a little wide in here. I have kind of a square, it's square like along in this, you know, it's kind of flat. And then I don't have really a heart shape, but I have almost more of like the square face. And it's heavier and fatter in here. And so I always like, with my contour, I usually really contour here and I really contour like this area to get that ideal, you know, oval face. I feel like the Gua Sha has reduced some of this in here, some of those things that I have been tackling and like contouring on my face. Like I feel like my face just looks more contoured and sculpted. And of course these pictures are with me with no makeup on at all, you know, so it's showing my true face. Whew, which is, whew. And right now I'm not wearing makeup, but skincare. I see the difference. It's like, wow. But now let's look at my neck. All right, so I'm kicking myself because I didn't take a really good picture, like side angle of the neck area, but for my before. I had one, but it was like a little too, it wasn't angled very well for you to really see the results. So instead what I did was I went and I looked for a before picture of me, you know, from the side, a really good picture of me. So it's not exactly the 21 days before, but it was, you know, a before that was pretty recent of me just naturally, you know, in my element. And I think I was at the beach though in that picture. And so I said, well, I'm going to use that as my before picture to compare now. And I just took this one at the end of my 21 days last night and put them side by side to see, do I see a difference in my chin and my neck? Wow. Do you guys see this? Again, it's hard to line it up exactly the same to really say, wait, okay, is that really a difference? But I see a huge difference in the before picture. It's just wider and more like one big glob all around under here. And in the after picture, it is skinny and sculpted and like V-shaped here. Still have a little bit of this going on, but not nearly what I had. So I got big results. This was from 21 days, just 3 weeks of consistency. Look at those results. So if you are looking to improve this area, highly recommend it. Now, let's talk about though some disclaimers about it. I don't feel like this is a permanent solution like surgery. You know, this is something you have to consistently keep doing to keep seeing that. I think it's kind of similar to like the microcurrent device where you're going to see kind of temporary relief and benefits and results, but it's not just going to be this permanent thing. It's something you have to kind of keep doing. And then especially, you know, maybe if you're getting ready for a big event, it might be something you want to do in anticipation of that event to look as lifted and fresh, you know, anticipating that. It's something that's going to be like an ongoing thing to keep those kind of results. I think also this is not a fat loss tool. So it's not something that's going to lose your double chin. So if you got a lot of like actual fat deposits under here, it's not really great for that. It's not going to be, I think this is more of the aging. It's more the skin the skin flab and like loss of elasticity that you're targeting, as opposed to fat loss, if that makes sense. It doesn't help fat deposits and double chins, but it does help the skin. It helps tighten the skin is what it's doing. So again, I don't think it's going to help my belly fat in that regards, but it might help with some of the appearance and sculpting, you know, of the stomach, but I don't think it's going to make me have a flat stomach and make all that fat just disappear. But I think it is maybe aiding some relief, and, you know, it's having a lot of benefits, but I think the bottom line is this is not a fat loss tool, okay? But I am so pleased at the results, and I really, really think that everybody needs to be doing some gua sha in their life, especially at my age, both for the physical and the inner wellness benefits. I just think it is a wonderful thing. I think it is such a self-care, like take care of yourself, give yourself that love, give yourself that time, and just really soak that gua sha time in and enjoy it. Think about all of the inner and outer beauty you are accomplishing for yourself. So that wraps it up. I just really wanted to share my results with you guys. I am not sponsored. I am not paid to promote this in any way. This is my true, honest results. It could have been better. You know, I could have really documented this with better pictures, better videos. So forgive me that it's kind of like the best I could do piecing together my before and after pictures. But like I said, I really feel, as I've seen myself on camera over the last few weeks, I'm noticing a difference. And you guys can go back and watch my videos too the last few weeks if you want. See if you see a difference. Go back like 3 weeks and see, can you compare my skin overall to now? Yeah. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Let me know if you have done gua sha, if you are going to start gua sha now, and anything else that you would love me to test out in skincare and in tools and whatnot. If you want to stay tuned for more beauty reviews, skincare and makeup and all of the curations, especially for 40 plus that we do in beauty, you'll want to stick around here and pop the subscribe, and I'll hope to catch you guys on the next one. Bye.